Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another episode of the Needle Drop Podcast. If you want to support this podcast, there's a couple ways you could do so. Do what you're doing now. Watch it on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. You can also hit up our Amazon Associates link, linked down there in the description. Anything you buy on Amazon, if you live in the US, we get kickback from it. Doesn't add to your overall price. You can also subscribe to up-to-date episodes of this podcast on our support page for a small monthly fee. And you can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, backlogged episodes of it, of course. Now, in this episode, we are interviewing the youngest savage on the internet, Lieutenant Corbus. We are talking with her about her growing YouTube channel, about the reaction video community, about being an 11-year-old YouTuber, about weird YouTube fan bases, just about her corner of the internet. And we talk a little music as well. So, yeah, that's it. Let's go to the episode. Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another episode of the Needle Drop Podcast, where we have conversations with content creators from across the internet. And today on this episode, a very special guest. She is a YouTuber, a comedian, a commentator, a Twitch streamer. Some would call her a Leafy clone. I personally have dubbed her the youngest savage on the internet, and this podcast is an auditory contract which you have signed just by listening to this episode. On the show, Lieutenant Corbus. Are you there?
Yep.
Is there too much pressure right now? Is that what's going on?
I'm a little nervous.
What are you nervous about?
I don't know.
You say crazier shit on your channel, and way more people are going to hear it than this podcast. Or you know what? Maybe that'll be the opposite. Maybe this will be a huge hit episode. But you're going to be fine. But I guess let's talk about that first, because I find it funny and I find it interesting that you would come on here and have a bit of nervousness, considering how on your videos typically you are so goddamn brazen.
Well, I'm nervous about messing up on other people's shows and stuff like that because, you know, it's a little embarrassing. And also, when I'm just by myself, I feel a little more comfortable to say these outrageous and, like, stupid things because nobody else is around. And I can edit out if I don't want it in, like, post, and I'm in control of that. And, like, same in real life, because most of my friends, like, they have found out about my channel. And the most common statement is like, you're really like just saying, you're swearing a lot. You're saying a lot of just weird stuff on your channel. But in like real life, you're shy, you quiet, you barely say anything. And it's actually pretty true because I feel like I have more control over my videos and I can edit stuff out, and I'm less nervous about embarrassing myself.
I mean, it seems like, in that respect, it's almost as if what you're doing on YouTube is kind of like a venting mechanism, and what you're doing on YouTube is, you know, kind of like an outlet for you in a way.
Yeah, because I have a lot of, you know, weird like stuff that I'm not sure how people in like real life, my friends will feel about. So I just kind of like talk about it on my channel. So. Okay.
All right. So if anybody listening to the episode hadn't gathered already, you are on YouTube. You're particularly young. You're 11, I believe, correct?
Yep.
And I mean, you really do on some of your videos go the extra mile to, you know, I guess really swear and say some naughty language. And, you know, I'm not making any presumptions here. I don't think you're from a broken home. I mean, obviously the electricity bill and the internet bill is being paid. You seem well fed, you know, you don't look like you're starving to death or anything like that. But obviously there's like no parental lock on the computer or anything.
No, I used to have one, but like the thing is my parents know what I'm doing, and they're completely aware of my videos, and they fully support me because they understand this stuff, and they actually really enjoy my content, surprisingly. Like, I was nervous that like everything would be shut down, like some of my friends, but they actually support me in this, and it's pretty good because I do a lot of stupid stuff on my channel.
Well, I think that's an interesting topic to, explore, especially since for people who are my age, who are, either having kids or they're about to have kids or a little bit older. I definitely remember a time when I didn't have internet at all. And since then, there has been, this just widespread discussion amongst parents about how dangerous the internet is for their children and so on and so forth. I mean, I'm not particularly of that opinion, but, I'm sure being as young as you are, you've kind of had that argument or, you've heard that discussion at least a couple times.
Yeah. My parents at this point, they've definitely like now understand that I'm mature enough to handle the weird stuff I may come across, in messages or comments or something, or stuff that I might like come across on YouTube or whatever. So they just want me to be careful. That's what they've told me. Like, there's people out there now that I'm bigger, there's like hackers and there's like weird, creepy people like Lion Maker. And so I just need to be careful on the internet. But they, allow me to do what I want to do. They just want me to tell them if I, feel weird about anything like that's going on.
Lion Maker being somebody who you brought up in one of the videos on your channel, who you described as a creepy Minecraft Let's Player who was either like 30 or 40 and had jumped out of the bushes. Is this the person who you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay. Yes. So that video did come out on April Fool's. That was a real ass experience.
No.
Okay.
I just like came up with that joke kind of last minute because I wanted to do something clever. And I thought it was a pretty funny video.
Okay. All right. But even though it's it's a made up guy, there are probably people out there like that.
Yeah.
So watch out for them. I guess before I get into
knives.
I guess while we're diverging or sort of detouring on this, is there something kind of just generally you find detestable about Minecraft Let's Players and Minecraft players in general? It just kind of seems like you break their balls, like pretty specifically.
What do you mean by like detestable?
Oh, I guess, you don't really like them, or you just kind of want to pick on them a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's kind of funny because a lot of them are like a little bit older, like in their 30s. And,
so at that point, they shouldn't be playing Minecraft?
They should probably be moving on to something else. I'm not saying they should like stop YouTube in general, because YouTube's like a form of like, it's a platform for entertainment. So there's like more mature stuff you could do, but you're 30 and you're still playing Minecraft. Like, my classmates play Minecraft. So
at that point, should you play Call of Duty or something? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Whatever floats your boat, I guess.
I'm 30. I play Super Smash Brothers. Is that okay?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, is it okay? It's probably okay. All right.
Okay.
I just want to know if I'm getting a pass. All right. Do you feel, before we get off this topic, do you feel that, you're talking about there being weirdness on the internet that you have to avoid and be wary of? Do you feel that making the type of content that you do, it might attract a little more weirdness than in general if you were just kind of, I don't know, making more innocent vlogs or just kind of making more vanilla content in a way, rather than kind of, this really ballsy, foul-mouthed sort of vlogging and reaction video style that you do?
Well, like the regular like vlogger kid or like kid on Vine or like Twitter or
sure,
I don't know, like regular like famous kid like Jacob Sartorius or something. Even though they're a lot more popular for what they do, I think they get less creepy stuff. But because of like the community that I'm targeting, I know there's like a lot of joke creepy stuff and whatever with the like if she's 11, I'm 11 jokes and stuff like that in the comments. But I think it still can attract some actual weirdos more than the other kids.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the type of content that you make, would you say that what you're creating here is kind of a reaction video style? Is it more of a vlogger style with like video game clips sort of thrown in? It sort of seems to be in line with what some other YouTubers out there are doing, like Leafy and Pyrocynical. And I don't mean to make that sort of comparison as an insult, though I know a lot of people throw that as an insult your way. It's just that for a while, it seemed like this community existed, and I didn't even know it existed until recently. A lot of people who follow me and people who I know who watch like H3's 3 Productions sort of had this community pointed out to them as like, this content is terrible. This content is cancerous. They're just talking shit over video game footage, and it's just bullshit. But regardless of that opinion, it's very popular, and it seems like a lot of people sort of find it entertaining. So, what is it about this type of content that you do, and what is it, the type of content that you make that sort of people are enjoying here?
Well, I used to do more of that like genre, just looking at one video, but now I kind of criticize things as a whole, or maybe like an event or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I think a lot of people find the jokes and stuff funny, and they, find the cringe, just like they want to see more of that like bad stuff because it's like so bad that it's interesting and entertaining. And so I think a lot of people enjoy seeing that, and it's not like a direct like hate thing. I know like Leafy and Pyro don't actually mean any of the things that they say towards these YouTubers. They're not making fun of them. They're making fun of what they do. And like even Pyrocynical has put like disclaimers and stuff that he doesn't want you to hate on them. So instead of being like a hate thing, it's more of like a like lighthearted, poking fun at them, talking shit for like fun and entertainment and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people enjoy it because it's funny and they, it's interesting and it's not actual attacks.
So you guys aren't personally feeling like within yourselves that it's as abusive as some people are kind of making it out to be?
Yeah. At least some of us try that because we don't really want anyone to get a ton of like just waves of hate because of our own fans.
From my perspective, I sort of have my own opinion on this, but as someone who, is kind of making their way on the internet with a YouTube channel, and I mean, to as young as you could remember, I mean, you remember the internet, right? I mean, do you ever remember a time in your life where you didn't have the internet or didn't have computers around sort of in your life in a significant way?
Like I've been on the internet for a long time, so I don't think there's a lot of like big memories that I've had before the internet. Like maybe some stuff with the Wii when I was like 5, but even when I was like 7, I got like an iPhone. I saved up money for it, and I was on the internet. So I've been exposed to a lot of different communities on there. So I think a lot of like my big memories and a lot of like influence on me and like maturity and stuff like that and comedy has come from the internet.
Okay, having said that, the idea of internet hate, in your opinion, is that something that is a seriously bad thing? Can be a dangerous thing, or is it the sort of thing in your mind that it can only affect you if you read it? It can only affect you if you have the screen on and you're looking at it,
It's like kind of in the middle because some people like get affected by it. Like different people have different personalities, obviously. So some people can get affected by it even though like they close the screen and they don't want to see it. They still like get affected by it. But I think an easy solution is not reading it or just realizing the fact that, well, my haters are mostly people who are a lot older than me, and they're wasting their time hating on an 11-year-old girl on YouTube, and their grammar is completely incorrect. So it's just like, it's funny to see it in my mind. Like, no joke, like I laugh at some of these comments so hard because it's just so incorrect that it's just like, I think mostly it only affects you if you care about it and you let yourself care about it. But if you really think deeply about it, it's probably someone a lot older than you typing up a furious comment about how you're more successful than them.
Okay, if you feel sort of in the middle on this issue, exactly when, in your opinion, does the hate sort of step over the line and it becomes dangerous, or it becomes too much, or it becomes, more than just kind of words on a screen that you could just easily ignore?
It becomes like more and too much when they actually put it into action. So if there's like people trying to hack you or like threatening to physically harm you, I think that's when it becomes an actual problem. And so if they're not just like, if you know that they can't do it, it's not that big of a deal. But if you know that they're probably capable of doing it, that's when it starts crossing the line.
Okay, so tell me, you obviously have a bit of perspective here already, in terms of how people are kind of reacting to you on the internet and what they could be doing more constructively, I guess, instead. How seriously are you sort of taking YouTube right now? Do you sort of see yourself sticking with it when you're kind of the age of these really angry commenters that you're making fun of right now? Or do you see yourself moving on to somewhere else? I mean, where are kind of your aspirations right now?
I'm like, my upload schedule is all over the place because I don't really have one set. And that's because I'm not taking YouTube too seriously. I'm more focusing on school and stuff like that. Because that's more of like a care of mine than YouTube. So like I'll go a week without uploading because I've just been focusing on school stuff. And I do see myself sticking with it. Like only for as long as I enjoy it, and if I don't enjoy what I'm doing anymore, I'll like switch, I'll switch up what I'm doing, and then if I can't find something I'll enjoy, like I'll probably just like, quit YouTube. So I'm pretty much just doing YouTube for fun, and I'm not taking it that seriously. I probably would take it more seriously if I was older, and I would, and I'm searching for something to do to like some kind of job that I can rely on to pay my bills and pay for my food and stuff like that. But right now I don't really need that. So I'm just kind of doing, what I want to do with it.
I think that's a really interesting answer, because I think a lot of people don't give your generation enough credit when it comes to, I guess, kind of responsibly dealing with computers, responsibly dealing with the internet and technology. I think a lot of people are sort of quick to paint people your age and a little bit older too, as internet obsessed. And here you are kind of consciously making this decision like, yeah, I could obsess over the internet and try to make it my career right now, but school seems to sort of be more important.
Yeah. Because I don't really need YouTube that much. Like, it's fun for me, but I don't need YouTube to support myself because I'm still 11. I don't need to pay any bills or taxes. I don't need to buy clothes. I don't need to buy food.
Sure.
So I'll probably just make a video whenever I have a good idea, and I don't want to like try to pump out videos every day to get more money for whatever I want to spend it on, because that's not exactly fun and I'll easily get burned out.
Can you give me a look at sort of what's around the corner in terms of what videos you might be coming out with? I know some of your recent ones, you sort of did some commentaries. One in particular that I do want to talk about for a second, but are you going to be commenting on anything else anytime soon?
I'm probably just gonna keep sticking to commentaries, maybe some kind of like reaction here and there, like to kind of like my BuzzFeed video or TAI video response to a current event, and then I'll just like stick to talking about topics I want to talk about. And I'll just pretty much stick to what I've been doing.
Okay. One recent commentary video that you did was about what you described as a community of pussies.
Yep.
That was
quite a while ago, actually.
It was a while ago, but don't claim up now. tell me a little bit about what that video, or tell us a little bit about what that video was about and kind of the opinion that you were giving in that video.
I think I was talking about stuff relation to current events, like people's videos getting taken down, and not in fair use, but mainly because that person is like feelings are hurt, even though it's like mainly satirical content and no one is really actually meaning hate towards you, but people are still seriously going out and trying to take down videos because they're making fun of that person. So I think I was just talking about how people kind of need to man up a little bit more and be able to take this.
Take like critique from other people on YouTube.
Yeah, because I mean it's the internet. It's gonna happen at some point.
Well, it's just funny how it seems like that you get that. You get that whole idea that the content is out there for other people to comment on. It's out there in the public sphere. You've put it out there. Other people have access to it. But there are people who are my age and older who just simply don't understand how that works.
Yeah, they like disable ratings. They disable comments. They go out and take down videos. They go out and like just go manhunt or witch hunt other people who have critiqued them. And it's kind of like, you kind of put that upon yourself if you're going on the internet and releasing content or just speaking your mind, because there's obviously people who have different opinions than you and think what you're doing is not as great as you think what you're doing is.
No, I mean, it's true. I mean, if there's one thing that I feel like I'm really excited about with your generation, it seems that consistently everybody sort of has agreement on this, and it's like there's just a different sense of ownership when it comes to content and stuff that you've made out there on the internet. Just because you've made it and it's out there on the internet doesn't mean other people don't have the right to kind of remix it or sort of do whatever they want with it on some other platform or on the same platform that you're sort of putting your content out on. And some of my favorite, music, because I'm primarily a music reviewer, is remixes and mashups and that sort of thing. And it seems like the video community is a little ahead of the curve in terms of that, but still sort of has a little while to go. All right, moving on, sort of going off of this content and this ownership sort of point, I wanted to ask you a little bit about originality. Because a lot of people do sort of sling that comment at you that you're just kind of like a Leafy ripoff or a Leafy clone or whatever. And I was wondering if you could kind of speak to that a little bit.
All right. So people will always like critique other people just because they're doing like the same genre or something. And I have to say that I am similar to those other YouTubers. I won't deny that what we're doing is similar. We're all talking about like a topic and, we're playing the same game and we're kind of doing the same thing as each other. But I mean, as long as you're not copying somebody else word for word, I mean, there's no reason to call someone a copy. Like, if you're ripping off somebody else's like personality, it's like, okay. But like if you're actually like reading off their script, what they're saying, that's when they're an actual copy. If they're talking about the same idea or doing some genre that's similar, you don't really have the right to say that. And I would say, mainly I get called a Leafy clone. We're both sarcastic. We both do the same type of videos. And it's kind of like the same thing. So a lot of people will kind of say, oh, she's, she wants to be Leafy so bad. She wants to, just be like exactly Waika's channel. And so even though I'm not really like we're similar, but I'm not completely ripping off his video ideas. I'm not just reacting the same videos he does and, critiquing the same exact thing. So we are similar, but I'm not like a complete ripoff like I've seen other people do before.
It's the difference between plagiarism and sort of, a video style, I guess.
Yeah.
Since I've sort of cropped up on YouTube, lots of people have, started taking to album reviews, and sort of in the similar format to what I do with the single talking head and the album sort of superimposed in the corner. It's just, kind of a style that other people are sort of invited to copy if they want to do an album review too, because there are people with different musical tastes than mine. All right. Let me ask you a little bit about cringe. Can we talk about cringe?
Sure.
Are you excited to talk about this?
Yeah, cancer.
What is it about cringe that people find so attractive? I mean, I know that I personally have always enjoyed some cringy videos or pictures, but it seemed like for a while on the internet, what most people wanted to enjoy were like, cute animal videos or like, I don't know, some viral video of some dude getting kicked in the nuts or something. And now it seems like cringe is sort of really becoming a focal point, and people just want to cringe at some, I don't know, cringy shit now, instead of just, I don't know, looking at a cute bunny or, I don't know, somebody fall off of a ladder.
I think the really big appeal here, like imagine if you are watching someone eating rocks, like it's like you're feeling it in your own teeth. You're like, oh my God, that's so bad. But it's kind of like you're intrigued. You kind of want to see more because it's like so bad that it's interesting. Mm-hmm. So if someone's creating horrible content, you're like, oh my God, that's so bad. Like I want to see more of like how bad this could be. And it just like people want to see more and more because like if you've ever watched those compilations of, I guess, like American Idol fails or like X Factor fails, you're like, oh my God, they're so bad at singing, and you keep on watching the video to see like how bad these people could get, like how bad at dancing they are or how bad at singing they are, because you can laugh at it and like it's just really bad, and we just are attracted to that.
And do you feel that that's a really popular trend even among kids your age at school? Like, I mean, are your classmates as into sort of cringe compilations as you are? Do you kind of feel like alone in that?
I like have a few friends. Like most of my friends watch my videos and they are kind of new to the reaction format, but they're already starting to like it a lot. Because like we now like have inside jokes that we talk about. So I'm not alone at my school in doing that. A lot of the 8th graders call me by my YouTube name now. They recognize me, and so they enjoy that stuff a lot because they've already been introduced to it. And
holy shit. The 8th graders are fucking looking at you and giving you props?
Yep.
Because you're
kid.
You're the envy of the 8th graders. Holy shit.
Yeah, they all want to hang out with me. No joke.
That would have been some big shit when I was your age. Like the 8th graders all think you're cool. That's pretty awesome.
Like the 8th graders, when I'm walking down the hallway, they'll like be, oh, what's up, Lieutenant Corbus? And I'm like, hey. And like the other 6th graders look at me because they're so clueless as to why they're calling me Lieutenant Corbus. Like, what's going on here?
I get it. So it's like, your other classmates, they're not quite into that edgy content that you are, but the 8th graders are into that edgy shit.
Yep,
so they found out about you. Yeah, I get it. Okay, I got it now. I got it. Okay, is there a point where, okay, here's a question. Is there a point where you can go overboard with being so edgy that you sort of become cringy?
Yeah. A lot. Like if you're forcing the edgy jokes like a lot, you can become, it's kind of embarrassing to watch that. Because it's just like, yeah, you're trying a little too hard, and then like the emo and goth people going over the edge a little bit. On the
you guys still have emos and goths?
No, not at my school. I don't.
Okay, good.
But on the internet.
Yeah, no, definitely on the internet. No, it's but those are those were social trends when I was your age. So sorry, you just sort of dated me and made me feel old there. But also I was just like, ugh, please. One thing I hope is that for your generation, there's no reason for anyone to be emo or goth.
Yeah, really. Like we have no troubles here. Most of us are like upper middle class, like white kids living in the suburbs. We don't have any like, depressing times. Like we have the internet. We can do whatever we want. There's no need for us to like be like, oh, my life is so horrible.
I get it. So there's no reason for anyone to pick up a guitar and sort of start an angry punk band, I guess.
Yeah, there's not really, unless you want to. I don't know.
Unless you want to. I get it. All right. A couple more questions, but from that, let's segue into, I guess, music for a second, because this is primarily a music channel. And it would be bad if I just kind of let you go without sort of asking you at least this question. How the hell did you know about my channel? Because when I followed you, you were like, oh my God, you're following me? And what music do you listen to? Like, what music do you enjoy?
Okay, I mostly listen to rap stuff, believe it or not.
Okay.
And I knew you because I like seen you before. Because like there's like a few tracks I looked up like a review for and whatever. So you were like one of the most popular channels and whatever. And I had stumbled upon you a couple of other times, and I have like friends that are into your channel and stuff. So I knew about you by stumbling upon you by chance. And
okay, so good. I'm still relevant with the young generation, you're saying. So, I have maybe like 5 more years before I'm just like destitute and I'm just like, poor and starving. Okay. So you're telling me you mostly listen to rap shit. And so who are some of your favorite rappers? And all of this is going to be scored for the end of the podcast, and you will get negative points if any of those rappers are, you can't like Chief Keef. You can't like, I'm trying to think of who else you can't like. You can't like Kid Cudi. No, I'm totally kidding. What rappers are you into?
Do I have to answer this?
Yes, you have to answer it.
No.
This is a goddamn music channel.
I need time to think about this.
What? How much time do you need?
I don't know.
Just tell me some of the rappers that you like. Are you afraid people are going to make fun of your taste?
Maybe a little bit.
Oh, don't worry about it. Everybody on my channel has shitty taste, so don't worry about it. Tell us some of the rappers you're into, even if they're the most worst rappers ever.
Okay. I don't really like Kid Cudi anymore.
Okay, but you used to like Kid Cudi.
Yeah. Now,
okay.
like, I don't even know what's happened.
So were you a little angsty when you listened to Kid Cudi? You were into like the sad songs?
I guess so. Maybe.
Well, you were just telling me that you were white and from a middle class family, and there's no troubles here, and there's no reason to be sad. And now you're telling me you used to be into Kid Cudi. You can't have both. You can't have your Kid Cudi and be in a place where there are no troubles. Okay, I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay, so you used to like a little Kid Cudi, but should I break out a list of all the rappers who have ever existed and then just ask you if you like them?
Sure, why not?
Okay, all right. All right, let's just get some of the big ones out of the way. Do you enjoy a little Kanye West?
Yeah, a little bit.
You like a little bit of Kanye West. Okay. Are you into Kendrick Lamar?
Not really.
Not really. Is he too pretentious? He's talking about some of those big ticket social issues too much, and he's boring. Is that why?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you into Drake? Are you into Drake at all?
Yeah.
You like a little Drake. Okay. He's not too soft for you. He's not like the softest rapper in the game. He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. Okay. Are you into Tyler the Creator? Do you like Tyler the Creator? Do you like Odd Future, Earl Sweatshirt?
Not really.
Not really Earl Sweatshirt, but yes to Tyler?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you like Flatbush Zombies?
Don't know who they are.
Don't know who they are. That's fine. You don't need to be an expert here. That's fine. You could say you don't know. There are no wrong answers here. Okay. We just want to know some of your preferences. That's all. Okay. Are you into Macklemore? Do you like little Macklemore?
Not really.
Not really? Not even Thrift Shop?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Thrift Shop's okay. What about Same Love? That is a same-sex marriage ballad of a generation, and you're just going to discount Macklemore?
No, I'm just going to completely discount. Stop giving me a hard time.
Okay, what about Young Lean? Do you like Young Lean?
Some of his stuff.
Some of his stuff. Okay, so you're into that internet meme rap sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what about Future? Do you like Future?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know who they are.
Okay, here's a big one. Everybody wants to know if you like this, okay? This is the big question here. Do you like Death Grips?
I've heard some of their stuff, and
You've heard some of their stuff. Okay, you've heard some of their stuff and you like it. All right, that's totally passable. That's fine. All right, so we're gonna go even further back now. Okay, are you into? Have you listened to any NWA?
No.
No. Have you listened to any Tupac or Biggie?
I don't think so.
That's totally fine. It's not. I just think it's funny because it seems like there's always kind of this pressure for the older generation to kind of maintain the status quo in terms of art and in terms of what's popular, like in the music scene. So they try to shove sort of their tastes down the younger generation's throat and say, hey, you got to like this Wu-Tang record. Hey, you don't know shit if you don't like this Tupac and Biggie record. Oh, you don't know any. But, the thing is, you guys are sort of going to make your own music and your own art and sort of decide what sounds good to you, and you're going to throw that older stuff that's actually not that really good, not that good in the garbage. Not to say that none of that stuff was good, and none of you guys should unsubscribe. All right. Final question here. Okay. Final question. I'll stop grilling you about music shit because I know that was awkward. So I'm sorry about that. Okay. So please accept my apology. Final question here. Let's make this podcast here a little bit of a time capsule, and let's, hope and pray that within the next 10 years that the apocalypse doesn't happen or some kind of Great Depression, and that the internet doesn't blow up, and that YouTube is still irrelevant. And let's also hope that my channel is still really popular and that my videos are all getting 1 million views each. All of us want that. Okay. So agreed. We all want that.
Yep.
And you're going to be watching my videos a lot too. You're going to be watching them every day, like 10 times a day. So all that stuff is going to be happening in the future. So one other thing that's going to be happening into the future is that someone's going to be listening to this podcast, and I hope that one of those people is you, because right now I'm going to ask you, what is a question you would like to ask yourself or tell yourself, just like send a message to yourself 10 years into the future. So you're documenting it in this podcast. What would you like to say to or ask yourself 10 years from now? You're 21 and you're old enough to drink and drive. Actually, nobody should drink and drive, okay?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. But, you're old enough to make horrible decisions because you've just turned to a full-grown adult in the eyes of the law. So what would you like to say to yourself?
First of all, don't make stupid decisions. Second of all, have fun. Don't ever force yourself to do stuff that you absolutely despise. And third of all, don't ever try to be someone you're not.
Those are good pieces of advice. That was really that was really poignant. Did you rip that off from somewhere, or did you just come up with that just now?
I came up with that now because that's what I've told myself before.
Okay, good. That's good life philosophy. Thank you. Hopefully, people can just apply that shit to their lives right now, rather than, waiting 10 years down the line to do that. So I want to thank you for being on my show. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for being both savage and professional. I said that to you already on Twitter, but I'm saying it to you again here now. You are savage and you're professional too, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.